of the recent Batman movie. His name is Stephen Barton. He's 22 years old and he's from Southbury, Connecticut. And he was among the 58 people injured in the July 20th attack. Now, if you're saying to yourself, if he's from Connecticut, what was he doing in Colorado in that mass shooting? Well, basically, he was bicycling across the country, and that particular night, he was staying with a friend that night of the shooting, and he happened to go see the movie.
Stephen is from Southbury, which is about 5 miles or so from here. He'll actually be in Colorado next month pushing for more gun reform, telling me tonight that his new line of work is actually therapeutic in the wake of all he's been through. We're live in Newtown, Connecticut tonight.
A Connecticut victim shot in this summer's movie theater massacre out in Colorado starts his new role tonight as a frontman in the push for stronger gun control laws. Hi, everybody. Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Darren Kramer.
I'm Sonia Baghdadi. We're just hours away from the first presidential debate, and tonight, that young man from Connecticut will step into the national political arena.
Yeah, today I sat down in New York with the Connecticut survivor of that massacre about his brand new role in the world of shaping political policy.
22-year-old Stephen Barton's life changed forever in an early July morning in Colorado. Barton was with friends in that Aurora movie theater watching the Batman premiere, where police say James Holmes opened fire, killing 12, wounding 58. Barton was one of the first shot. He took a blast to the head from a shotgun. 25 pellets ripped into him. 8 are still in his body. Now, Barton's life has changed again.
So when you watch the presidential debates, ask yourself, who has a plan to stop gun violence?
Tonight, Barton will star in a national political ad pushing for more gun control in this country. It will run just before the presidential debate.
The guns that I was shot with, they were bought legally, but I guess the point is that our laws are not as comprehensive as they should be.
And this one political ad isn't the last you'll see of Stephen Barton either. This week, he actually moved here to New York City, where he will spend the next year working to pass new gun legislation.
Today, Barton met with his new boss, New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Barton now works for Bloomberg's organization called Mayors Against Illegal Guns.
The first goal of Barton's group is to require background checks for all guns sold in this country. Right now, private gun sales are exempt. He says he is really hoping to open up a conversation about guns in this country and come up with solutions that he says would not be hyper-partisan.
He was biking around the country in July when he stopped for a movie in Aurora, a night that changed his life forever. Friday, he did not have to travel far for another tragedy. It hit right here in his own community. Stephen Barton doesn't want to believe where he is standing.
The last thing I thought would happen is that this gun violence would strike so close to home.
The growing memorial of flowers and teddy bears outside Sandy Hook Elementary. Painful reminders of 5 months ago in the Aurora Theater shooting.
Especially in being able to really put myself in that moment, just imagining what it was like in that school.
The sketch of your scar. To create it, you would need to take any lip pencil in dark pink color and draw an even line on your cheek or any other place on your face or body. Now move on to the scarring liquid, which is called rigid collodion, and as a result it tenses up the skin and thus visually creates the effect of the scar. I definitely have to mention that this product has a very strong, unpleasant smell. Okay, so the more product you apply onto the skin, the better the result will be. Apply the product in multiple layers and let it dry a minute in between. Now the next step is to remove some shine that the dry product has on your skin. All you need to do is set your scar with some powder, and then on top add some concealer. Finally, to give your scar the appearance of the new injury, as if it is still healing, add some pink lipstick or lip gloss on top. Blend it with your fingers for a more realistic look. And here's the final result.
Saw the wounds on Stephen Barton's face, those wounds. And you saw those wounds on Stephen Barton's face. Those wounds are actually from shrapnel from the buckshot from the shotgun that he was shot with. We're told he has shrapnel wounds in his face, his arms, his chest, and 2 deep wounds in his neck that had to be stapled shut. And one final note on Stephen Barton, Mike and Ann, he was actually brought to Medical Center of Aurora last night by a police officer. We're told by the doctors here that several police officers who were first on the scene over at the theater actually couldn't wait for those ambulances to arrive, so they loaded up some of the victims and they took them to hospitals as fast as they could, and doctors here say that saved many lives.
The aftermath is just how arbitrary it was, where we chose our seats, whether we even had a chance to escape in the first place. I'm still trying to come to terms with that. I remember thinking, like, you know, what I read in the news about Columbine and Tucson, there's no way that's actually happening to me.
And this one political ad isn't the last you'll see of Stephen Barton either. This week, he actually moved here to New York City, where he will spend the next year working to pass new gun legislation.
Today, Barton met with his new boss, New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Barton now works for Bloomberg's organization called Mayors Against Illegal Guns.